Welcome to the Two Chicks with Hiking Sticks podcast. We cover all things natural, cultural, and historical in the world around us. Sit back and enjoy our sometimes snarky, often funny, and never dull podcast.
Oh, that's right.
Howdy, everybody. It's Two Chicks with Hiking Sticks, and I am Susan.
I'm Monica.
And we cover the natural, historic, and cultural things in the world around us.
Yes, we do.
And today, so you know the group U2, right?
Yes, of course I know you too.
Well, some people don't. So you know they had an album called Joshua Tree.
Yes, I do know that.
And there's a picture of them on the cover with Joshua trees.
Yes.
Do you know where that picture was taken?
Joshua Tree?
You would think so, however it wasn't.
Oh, that was a trick question.
Well, because I would have thought that the picture would have been taken like in Joshua Tree National
Yeah,
Park,
yeah.
but it actually wasn't. It was
You're
actually, I think it was in either Death Valley or someplace.
Deceptive practices, you two.
Well, but it's wherever you can find a Joshua
Joshua
tree.
tree.
So there you go. But today we're going to cover Joshua Tree National Park because it's actually, it's got,
Joshua trees?
well, yeah, but you know, the thing that people get wrong about Joshua trees is that Joshua trees are not trees.
Aren't they cactus?
They're yucca.
Yeah.
They're
yuccas.
yucky.
Yuccas.
They're juccas. So anyhow, talking about Joshua Tree National Park. So it is one of the top 63, one of the 63 national parks. It actually gets about, I don't know, a few million visitors, like 3 million visitors. But I reckon that a lot of people go to this park because they go on, because it's right off of I-10.
Ah.
So if you're like heading from Texas to California, it's kind of like how if you're heading out of Texas and getting on Interstate 40, you can get to Petrified Forest right off the highway. Same kind of concept with Joshua Tree is that it is right off the highway, right off of 10, heading to California. It's in California.
Okay.
So it originally started as a national monument, but then became a national park much later because there was this woman, leave it to a woman, there was a woman who's like, this is really pretty area down here, and it must be preserved at a great rate, and must be really, we need to pay attention to it and everything.
Well.
But it was because of her that really secured this whole area, because this is where two major deserts come together. It's like this ecological area where these deserts come together. So
Cool.
Colorado and the Mojave, I think, deserts.
Yes. Okay.
So it's really interesting if you ever go to this park. So we're going to talk a little bit about the park itself.
Excellent.
Because you never know when you're going to find yourself on I-10 heading to California.
That is true. That is true.
So, again, it's about 800,000 acres big. It had been, I think when it was a national monument, it might have been smaller or bigger. It's kind of fluctuated in size. And like in the 50s, they took some of that space, some of that land, and said, we're going to open it up to mining and whatever.
Now, this is Arizona.
California.
Joshua Tree Park is in California.
Joshua Tree National Park is in California.
Okay. So, I-10.
I-10.
Okay. Lower part of California?
Very lower, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they had opened it up for mining and stuff, and then they were like, maybe we shouldn't do that. So then they closed it back down and made it parkland again, and it's like, but it's roughly, let's say, about 800,000 acres.
What were they mining?
I don't know what minerals they had,
I
but
wonder if it was like gold and...
you know what would tell us?
What would tell us?
Well, because I'm trying to think, you were at a Chihuahuan Desert thing. Where did we go to that place that had all the mining?
That was Chihuahuan Desert.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
That I was fascinated by?
Oh, and it had that map.
It had a
that
map
showed,
of everything, the types of stuff.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, where was
Okay,
that?
yes, that was the Chihuahuan Desert that had the mining map.
That you were like, go for it, Susan.
Yeah. I was
I'm
like,
not interested.
Boring.
But look at how it comes back, and I should have studied it more when I
You
could
should
have told
have.
you.
You should have.
But I didn't.
That's
Anyhow,
a shame.
whatever. Okay, so this park, it was established, again, as I said, it first became a national monument. This was back in 1936, but in 1994, it actually was redesignated as a national park. And it is where these two distinct desert ecosystems come together, the Mojave and the Colorado. And you can tell where that is in the park. Now, this park, if you think about the layout, now I'm talking about like if you come across 10, you can go, that's the south point, that you can travel up and through the park.
Okay.
And then at the northern end, they have like what they call the west entrance and they have the north entrance. Quite frankly, I went from south to the west. You can go to the north, but the driving you're really going to want to do is taking from the south, which is Cottonwood, which the visitor center is, up to the western entrance where there's also a visitor center.
Okay.
And you traverse this ecosystem that is just, I have learned an appreciation for like cactus by going into these deserts areas, right?
Sure.
They're pretty.
Yeah, they are. They are. And there's a lot of different species which we discovered at the Chihuahuan Desert.
Yes.
And we should link that here somewhere.
Oh,
Our trip there, because we went into their desert cactus museum.
Yeah, it was a cactus museum.
Yeah, and it had over 200 species of cactus. So, yeah, they're more diverse than I would have ever imagined.
Well, and when I went to Saguaro National Park, which we have yet to cover, which we'll cover in a future episode, I bought a laminated thing that has the pictures of all like types of cactus.
Of course you did.
Of
course you did.
Because I was fascinated by them. And so one of the types of cactus that you hit when you go through this park, like if you're going from south to basically north, is Ocotillo. Yeah, it's tall and anyhow. But so Ocotillo, so I learned what Ocotillo was. But then my favorite, so you go a little bit further into the park, you get to the Cholla cactus, and they call it like the jumping cactus or something, because there is a little hike, kind of a walk that you can walk through this area. They are they look like cactus that you would want to touch because they look like they would be soft.
I think I've seen them. I think I know which ones you're talking about. But
don't
those,
touch
no,
them.
yeah. Those are the ones that like the spines are like super like.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're like, if you walk too close to the Cholla, I think it's Cholla, cactus, you'll get the thingies on you.
Yes, I know exactly which ones you're talking about. Yeah.
But it's really pretty. I mean,
dangerous but pretty.
I have to say, it's like one of my favorite parts to see in that park. Not so much the Joshua trees. I mean, the Joshua trees are nice too, but the Cholla part is really kind of
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I've never forgotten it, and I've been to this park 3 times. Because why not?
That's shocking.
Well, 3 times actually in the matter of 5 years. I've been to this park.
Again, so surprising. Says nobody who knows you.
So you can, like I said, you can go from the south to north, or you can come in at the west entrance, which is on the north side. You go through 29 Palms, California, and why does 29 Palms stick out like I'm familiar with it?
I have no idea.
But it just made me stop and think. It's like when I say 29 Palms, I don't know why I think of it as a Marine Corps place. I'd have to look that up, but I think maybe there's a connection.
Maybe
there.
somebody out there knows and can comment on this.
Yeah, for some reason
I have no clue.
For some reason I want to say that's what it is.
Whoops.
Maybe,
that's me. I forgot to silence my phone.
Maybe the Roadrunner would like to tell us. But anyhow, so you can drive through 29 Palms and get to the north entrance or the western entrance. You can do either one. And traverse it from the north to the south. And when you do that, you're going to hit the Joshua trees first, and then you'll hit like the Cholla next, and then you're going to hit the Ocotillo after that.
Okay.
Okay. So it's really up to you whichever way you want to go. Now, if I were going to recommend, if you're going to go visit this park, which way I would go, I would probably want to go from the north to the south.
Really?
Yeah, from like the western entrance to the south. I liked it that way.
And why?
I just like the order that you hit things, because again, you hit the Joshua trees first, and then you go into the Cholla and whatever. You want to hit the Cholla part. They recommend, and I agree with this because it was true, They recommend that you hit the Chola part more towards the late afternoon.
Okay.
Because the way that the light shines, it gives them such a beautiful kind of aura, the way that the sun sets.
So you're talking about driving, or are you actually hiking through these areas?
You can do both.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, they have some really neat hikes out there as well that are fairly easy. They have some ones that are long and not fairly easy, but they have a good host of some that are like a half a mile to a mile.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, maybe only like 100 elevation. I mean, it's like
excellent,
nice and easy to do, because the one thing you have to be prepared for out there is that it gets hot.
Right.
So you really want to go.
It's a desert.
It is. And so they recommend that you go between October and April before it heats up too much, which I would agree with, because it is pretty barren out there. Because when you talk about Joshua trees, it's not like these big shady trees, because they're not. Again, refer to the U2 album if you need to know what one looks like, because I thought that was cool. But
or you could just actually search Joshua.
No, look up the U2
I'm sorry.
album.
Okay, yeah, look up the album. It's so much easier.
I can't remember when I saw U2 in concert. Did I ever tell you the story that we're going to segue here? Well, no, we're not going to segue. I'm just going to divert. So I saw U2 in concert in 2012. I can't remember what album it was on, but I saw them in Soldier Field in Chicago. And when I saw them in concert, it made me want to learn how to play bass.
Really?
Because the dude on the bass, and I can't remember his name now, the dude on the bass, I'm like, he makes playing bass so fun.
It's not Mullen, right?
No, I thought...
Larry Mullen's lead guitar, right?
No. Edge is the guitarist.
Well, then maybe it's Larry Mullen.
I thought he was... Who's the drummer then?
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe you guys can tell us. But anyhow, because the guy who plays the bass guitar made it look and sound so cool, I have a bass guitar now. So
I always felt that way when I watched Flea play.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that dude was like bouncy everywhere and still able to carry the bass. That's crazy.
Yeah, I can't do that either. But anyhow, that was my U2 seg out of nothing.
We've always got to talk about music, because we just do.
That's just what we do.
Yeah, well, you know.
Now, this is a dark sky as well.
Oh.
But that makes total sense.
Yeah,
because
of course
now,
it does.
In where it's at in California is not far across the border from Arizona. But if you know where Indio is in California, right off of 10, that's usually where I stay. I usually stay in Indio, which is also not far from Coachella. Most people know where Coachella is.
Yes.
So it's not far from that either.
Okay.
So you've got plenty of places that you can stay, places around the area that are also nice to go to. But everything's kind of far enough away that this is a dark sky park.
Nice. Okay. Well, we are probably going to be doing a podcast about dark sky parks, so stay tuned.
Yes, we are. So I want to go back a little bit to the champion of this particular park. Her name, because I think it's important that we highlight the name of this person. Her name was Minerva Hamilton Hoyt. Now, this woman grew up in the South. So she grew up in Mississippi and moved to Southern California and fell in love with the desert.
Nice.
And it was because we've talked about this on many of our episodes. We've talked about how individuals get groups of people to conserve and save places.
Yes.
Because there were people going into what we now know as this national park and just chopping down, Joshua trees and stuff like that. And just, whatever. It's like, no. We don't want to do that. We want to preserve this. And particularly because of this where the two deserts come together, it's like, this is a very unique place. Mm-hmm. She was the champion of all of that.
That's great.
Leave it to a woman.
Agreed.
Just saying. Leave it to a woman. So anyhow, the work that she did, I'm so thankful again that she did that and rallied the support. And it was interesting because she took plants and things from the area and was traveling, did a traveling show around to different places, like in the Northeast or whatever, to gain interest in it. She then met up with FDR.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
And became friends and got him interested. And this is how it became a national monument.
Interesting. Okay, so she put a bug in his ear.
And sometimes that's what it takes,
Yep.
to have friends in high places that can make those things happen.
That's right.
But it's because she took that effort of wanting to share this beauty of this desert area with others.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, and FDR really was a champion for just nature in general. I mean, he loved it. He loved being out in it, and we're going to probably be doing a podcast about the CCC, the Civilian Conservation Corps,
Oh my
which
gosh, yes.
was instrumental in the creation of a lot of these parks, national parks, state parks, even down to city parks and locations in cities. So, amazing that she was able to become friends with him or make friends with him or know him or whatever. She knew who to talk to.
And I don't even know if she knew that was in the realm of possibility when she started it.
Yeah.
But she knew she had to get more interest in it to help preserve this area, which, again, so thankful people do that, and other people then jump on the bandwagon and make it so.
Right.
So it's really kind of cool. Now, when we kind of alluded to this, when we talk about Joshua trees, again, they are not trees. They are of the yucca family. But when you look at it, it looks like it's a tree.
It does look like a tree.
But they really look kind of gnarly, too, right? They're gnarly looking kind of trees.
Yes.
But they are not trees. And it is the largest of the yucca family, and it grows up to 40 feet tall.
Wow.
So it's not like they're little stubs.
Yeah,
right?
no, not at all.
So,
Yeah.
I think it's kind of important that we understand what that tree is. Or it's not a tree.
It's a yucca.
That's right. It was in my junior ranger program. I had to know that it wasn't a tree. Because I'm a junior ranger.
Yes.
Badge
Yes,
earner.
you are. Yes, you are.
Now, there's another part of this park that is, I always say, I've said otherworldly in other podcasts that we've had, but I don't even think I've said fascinating once in this podcast.
No, you haven't, but I said it for you.
But they have these boulders, like huge boulders in this area. Like in one of the areas you come across that just is a bunch of these big old boulders, and you're like, how the heck did they get here? Well, flash floods
Oh, yes.
stripped away the land and left these boulders there.
That's crazy when you think about it.
It is crazy. Well, again, it kind of goes back to like when we think about Devil's Tower, or we think about these places that used to be under dirt and whatever and have all been washed away to leave these things still standing.
Well, it's easy to remember things that erode, erosion, but to think about the water depositing things in areas that they normally would not have been in, and then nature adjusts and works around it. That is fascinating.
It is fascinating. But that when you see these, come across these boulder areas, rock climbers love to come and just climb on these rocks and stuff, which you can. But it is very sci-fi looking kind of landscape, because you're really kind of driving through and you're just seeing this stuff. This is also a good place, though, not only to get out of your car and climb across the boulders, but to also get out and hike. So just beyond the boulders continues a hike that's out there. But again, not terribly long. It's very doable. But if you're going to do anything around and climb around these boulders, we always recommend you take your hiking sticks, because that will help you stay balanced.
Yes. Yes.
But so again, you got Ocotillo, you've got the Cholla, you've got these boulders, you've got the Joshua trees, all along this strip driving through. It's really cool.
That sounds really cool. That would be upper part of the list.
We need to probably have a list of parks and places you would want to go see.
Yeah.
But you may never. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, it may be on the list, but I don't know how far that's going to go.
Kind of stuck in Europe in my head.
Yeah.
But I do want to go see them.
I think that they're worth a gander. Now, while I've been 3 times, did I need to go 3 times? No. Once was really enough.
Of course.
People I was with each time wanted to keep going through. I'm like, I guess we'll keep going through. Now, there were early inhabitants of this area, which, of course, were a lot of our Native American folks. Now, it's interesting because this is really a desert area. So, like, survival here was really hard.
You always got to wonder.
How did they do it?
How did they do it?
That we struggle how we struggle.
Yeah.
I don't know. And we have a lot of things around us to help us.
Yes. I mean, we've got first world problems, but,
yeah, exactly.
I can't, maybe I just don't have the imagination, or maybe it's just that I'm not desperate enough to try to I can't picture how
That's a good point.
you survive in an area that is known to not have water.
Yeah, that's
You know,
not
to find
hospitable.
right, to be resourceful enough to find ways to find water to, I imagine they probably grew things there. You know, you've got to be desperate and resourceful.
Yeah,
And I'm not.
I'm not either. So it says that they subsisted largely on plant foods, supplemented by small game.
Yucca is delicious.
Well, evidently they were eating a lot of that, and that's where they got their medicines and their bows and their arrows and all that kind of stuff. But,
Makes sense.
yeah, so it's interesting to understand the people that have lived here before, and again, now we get to take advantage of it. Now, there was a period that there was mining done there, so obviously there was some settlement of some because there was mining in that
Sure.
area, but you don't really pay a whole lot of mind to that right now. I mean, when you're driving through that park, you're not going to pay a
Right,
whole lot of mind to
right.
that. So, but it is a park I think definitely worth seeing at least once in your lifetime, just because it's kind of cool looking at the different cactus and stuff that are out there, and the yucca and the trees and stuff. So,
Yeah, that really has been on my list, and it would probably move up. One of these days, I will put a list on the webpage.
Monica's list. I have 11.
I'll break it down into thirds.
Yeah, and I only have 11 national parks of the 63 to go to. So
I've only been to.
I think we got you to 6 or 7.
I might
didn't
be.
we?
Yeah, I might be almost into double digits.
Ooh,
Ooh,
everybody,
we're gonna
stand
throw
back.
a party when we get to double digits for Monica. Yes,
Yeah, okay, I don't know about that, but all right, sure.
I'm hurt.
What year might that be?
I don't
I
know.
might be 70 and not getting around anywhere, but
Might be dead, but
there's that.
can you truck my ashes?
That'd be funny.
It'd be like The Way. Have y'all ever seen the movie The Way? It's about the Camino de Santiago, and I'm not going to tell you a whole lot about it, but at the beginning, something happens to one of the characters, and it's on the back of the box. I'll tell you. The guy goes to hike the
Back of the
Camino.
box?
Well, you know,
Back of the box?
the old DVD. Remember the old DVD boxes?
At
Okay,
least you didn't say
so-
VHS, but anyhow.
But anyway, an accident happens right at the beginning of the Camino, and he perishes, and the father goes and has him cremated, and then decides to do the way and drops, basically is like taking his son with him and
Spreading his ashes.
okay, so I know it's not the way, but yeah, you could like take my ashes and like hit all the national parks. I'll
Monica's been here.
I'll leave you some money.
Well, people do that.
I'll leave you some money, and you can surreptitiously drop me in little puffs of.
I'll look like
Nobody-
Pigpen from Charlie Brown.
Nobody will notice me in the desert anyway.
Hey, now that's a good point. That is a good point. So anyhow, that's just how we're going to get Monica to all the national parks. We're just going to wait until she passes away and then move from there. So, as I said, you have plenty of options here in this park, basically north to south, or there's a west entrance and a south entrance. Be sure to do that. And I think you would really enjoy it and take lots of pictures and stay there for the night sky because it is really pretty out there as well.
I think you would enjoy it too.
I don't know if you would take her word for it, but take my word for it.
Don't
You
take
go
my word
once
for
and you're good. And with that, I think that's about all I have to say.
Well, that has been illuminating and very interesting. And like I said, it's moved up on my list now.
That's
so
good.
that's a good thing. Reminders that these are the kind of parks, because they are deserts where you're going to want to be prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Take your hiking sticks, take your water.
Hats.
We've got a downloadable checklist
Because-
on the website.
There is no cell service, no water, no food, no nothing inside this park.
Yeah. Oh,
If you're getting it, you need to get it on the outside of the park before you come in the
be
park.
prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Be prepared. Just real quick, I just want to mention that Two Chicks with Hiking Sticks is number three in the best 30 outdoor women podcasts in the U.S. We're going to put a link up here somewhere so you can see all the podcasts that are listed on that. So we'd like to shout out to millionpodcast.com for hey, putting us up there.
Yes.
I think it's great.
It is great. We've been
Exciting.
working hard to bring you content and educate you a little bit on our national park system and things that are around us in local areas
Yep.
that are around here in San Antonio and Texas.
That's what we're trying to do.
That's what we're trying to do. So if you find that interesting, make sure you follow us and subscribe to us.
Give us a thumbs up.
That's right.
Share our podcast.
Share our podcast.
We're
You
on
can-
Facebook. We're
Yeah.
on Insta. We got
on
merch.
YouTube.
We got a
We got
Zazzle
merch.
store.
We got whatever you need.
You can buy us a coffee.
You can buy us a coffee. And if you have suggestions for future, podcasts, just drop them on us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or leave us a comment. We'll find them.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah. So we appreciate you. And I guess until next time,
Hike your own hike.
We'll see y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening, and remember to follow our podcast wherever you get your podcasts and subscribe to Two Chicks with Hiking Sticks on YouTube, where you also get to see our lovely faces, pictures, and videos of our journey.